All right, and so I'm going to talk about the Mortal Kombat movie that just came out, so 2021. Um, you know, I definitely feel like I haven't talked about movies in a while. Part of that is because movies haven't really been coming out. Like Justice League, obviously, I was hyped up beyond belief for that. Um, Godzilla vs. Kong, I wanted to talk about it, but at the same time, it's just so unmemorable to me that I just don't care. And so, at least with Mortal Kombat, this one, as much gripes as I have with it, there's a lot I can retain from it, and I feel like will stay in my memory. So, also, I don't have the nostalgia goggles for the 1995 Mortal Kombat. It's goofy. I think it's all right. It's clearly a product of its time and falls more in line with the early games. I feel like this new movie goes more with Mortal Kombat X and 11, and so you're trying to compare the movies 1995 and this one. You almost can't because it's completely different. That was its own thing of its own time. This is its own thing of its own time. But everyone of course is like the '95 one is so much better, and yes and no. It's just so goofy. I'm just like, I guess, kind of a shitty movie, but at least it's better than Annihilation. So I'm viewing this as a movie, not based off the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, clearly this movie was made for the fans, but you have to also view it as a movie. And as a movie, it's kind of eh. Because this clearly feels like part one of two or three. It does not feel like a movie in itself, and from what I'm seeing, it's like a first-time director or something. Like this is major film, so I guess there's some leeway. But overall, when it ended up, because Mortal Kombat, the tournament, the whole movie, I was like, there's like 10 minutes left. Where's the tournament? I thought we'd at least see a flashback of it, or you'd see like the first round of a tournament, something. Still, I mean, didn't get to see any of it. And also, just a quick note, I didn't shave my head or anything. I just got tied back. Just came home from work, but also didn't realize she was right there. But yeah, you know, when you view it as a movie, because it's almost like what The Hobbit Part One did. I think that did it a little better, but you're like, this is like an intro movie, like a TV show almost. They should have just done like an HBO series, because as a movie, especially if they don't make any more, you're just left open ended. Like, okay, that's it. Great. The actors for the most part were okay. Liu Kang, I don't know. He's Liu Kang. I feel like he didn't really do much, and I feel like you didn't really learn about him because like I said, I'm viewing it as a movie, so you learn a few things, but you're like, okay, I guess. And then with the character Cole, I'm like, okay, he's your generic I have a family Mr. Good Guy. Got it. The whole thing is that he can take a beating, so then his superpower is that he can create an armor and whatever those are, tonfas or something, but his armor can absorb damage and then redirect it. So it's neat, but I was like, okay, all right. Kano, I liked his character, and if it works both ways. You view it as a movie character, you're like, okay, he works. He's just that funny asshole who's clearly bad. But then if you look at it as like a person who liked the games, you're like, wow, they did him pretty well. And then they had one of the reptiles. I was like, neat. Dies quickly. Jax, I thought they did a pretty good job. Kung Lao, I liked. I wish we had seen more of his powers, because you see him teleport like once, and so, you're viewing it and you're like, okay, so he can teleport. Why don't we see more of that? And there's more of their powers that you're like, how come we don't see more of, And the overall plot feels like it revolves around Sub-Zero and Scorpion, but you see Scorpion in the first 7 minutes, and then you literally don't see him till the last bit. And that kind of disappointed me, because I was like, okay, this movie looks like it's about Scorpion. The whole Shirai Ryu clan and him being killed by the Lin Kuei. And so I was like, okay, I'm kind of confused, and okay, and Raiden's actor was not the worst. He was just like douchey thunder god. I was like, okay, is he have the same presence of the video game guy? No, but as a movie, not the worst. What are you doing? Shang Tsung, not so bad. What are you doing? If you ever get a kitten, mind that. She's going crazy. But Shang Tsung, I felt like was flat. He just felt like generic villain, and they didn't really go over what his powers are or anything. They just kind of, and the cat stepped on the keyboard. So yeah, Shang Tsung fell flat, and it sounds like I'm constantly griping about this movie, but I did enjoy it. I like that grounded, darker feel, I guess you could say, and how they changed it up, like your ancient champions have the mark, that dragon, and if you kill someone with the mark, you get it, and then it's never-ending cycle, or it's like in your lineage and you're born with it. I was like, okay, it's neat. It's not a bad idea. I was just so disappointed that we didn't even get to see a tournament. It's like, how are you gonna have a Mortal Kombat movie without a tournament, man? Come on. I like Cabal. I like, he was done well. Yeah, there really isn't much to say about this movie. Damn, it sounds like I actually did just gripe about it the whole time. But when they do fatalities, fantastic. Action sequences, awesome. Blood, like everything. And the dialogue for the most part is not too bad. Some of it, just when they're talking, like Cole, the main character, and his wife, I was like, let me guess, they're going to say, oh, I love you. Like your typical thing. I was like, okay, get it over with, please. I thought it would have been a neat idea to have this movie be Mortal Kombat 9, basically, where it's like everything's already happened, and then it's the whole, like, send a message in time and restart the timeline. Like, just that kind of stuff. Like, oh, okay, and then if they really wanted, they could make more movies of the previous timeline, whatever. But they're, starting with, like, Mortal Kombat 9, X11, that stuff. Then you could have all these characters. I mean, you'd have an endless supply of characters, which would not be bad. But, yeah, overall, this would be like this is in between, like, middle and top. So, like, and, pretty good. So, also, I didn't have to pay, technically. I have HBO Max, so it's not like I had to go out and buy a ticket. Maybe if I had to sit through a theater, it'd be different, but I mean, HBO Max had Justice League, Kong vs. Godzilla, and now this, and then they'll have Suicide Squad and Dune and Matrix 4, I think. So, yeah, I'd say watch it, but if you're not a fan of the games, then I feel like you're just going to be kind of lost, because they reference a lot of shit from the games, where if you don't know, you're going to be like, what? They reference Kotal Khan, Nightwolf, you see Kitana's, Fanblade, you see the, the Elder Gods, the Amulet. They reference Johnny Cage. You know, he's like the next guy they're looking for. And so there's a lot. And I think they're setting up Bihan Sub-Zero becoming Noob Saibot. And so the next movie might have his brother, Kuai Liang. So I'm curious to see what they do with it. But guess that's going to be it. This was just like a on-the-spot review. So I recommend watching it. Honestly, you should watch the 95 one and this one back to back. And really, like, you know, it's unbiased, especially if you've never seen either one, and you'll watch both, and then you can have, I feel like, a more honest opinion. So, yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I have a couple more things. You can't see it. I'll just show it off real quickly. I have this to review. Looking forward for that. The Anthem Ranger Javelin. And then I got the Megatron Last Night from 3 Zeros, from that company that made both my figures, coming within the next month or two. So I'm real excited for that. I've been waiting forever for that. So thanks for watching. I'm out.